Last season, King of the Baggers exploded onto the Moto America scene. Now a familiar face is poised to take the 2021 title.
So privileged to be in this position and to get the win for these guys feels amazing. I know we got a lot of Harley fans out here. Harley's back on top, baby. Let's go.
While last year's champ looks for a final day upset, King of the Baggers is right now on FS1. We're thundering towards the Geico Motorcycle Superbike Speed Fest at Monterey, round 5 of the Moto America AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey, California. And we're setting the stage for our final race of the 2021 season for Mission King of the Baggers, the championship on the line. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside Jason Pridmore, two-time national champion. Now, Jason, for Kyle Wyman, who leads this championship, last time we raced, it was highest of highs to lowest of lows in like 2 hours.
Yeah, he found himself on the victory podium, winning that race for Harley-Davidson, only to find himself ending up at the hospital a few hours later after a superbike crash in what looked pretty simple.
Yeah, and for Kyle Wyman, though, as we look at the championship standings right now, he is leading Hayden Gillum, Frankie Garcia, and there's Tyler O'Hara, who had that DNF. So for Kyle Wyman, Jason, there's a ton of scenarios on how he's going to win this one, but this is what happened in Road America.
Yeah, he ends up winning here. He's in a battle with Tyler O'Hara, who ended up breaking. Travis Wyman, Kyle's brother, ends up finishing second. Factory Harley 1-2. But like I said, just a few hours later in the Superbike race, Greg, he just low-sided, very simple, hit his elbow on a curb, ended up having to have surgery on that a week later. This is his first time back on a bike.
And Hannah Lopa had a chance to catch up with Kyle Wyman.
Greg, with this round being the third and final for our Mission King of the Baggers Championship Series, Kyle Wyman is currently leading the points and has the opportunity to wrap it up here this weekend. But that's not without its own set of challenges. You will be riding injured after a crash at Road America. How do you anticipate this weekend will play out?
Well, I've had one 15-minute session on the bike to kind of feel it out, and it's not enough. So the jury's still out a little bit on what it's going to be like to run 8 laps and you know, actually race with these guys. But I think we got what we need to put together a solid race. The Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle guys are doing everything they can to give me a good bike, and you know, I think it's the best bike on the grid. So it's just going to be up to me trying to nurse this elbow all the way home and hopefully get a crown along with it.
Best of luck out there. Thanks, guys.
And the battle of Indian motorcycles and Harley-Davidson continues. Can Tyler O'Hara pull off a miracle today?
Mission King of the Baggers is sponsored by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. And in part by Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car or motorcycle insurance. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the Moto America Championship Series.
As we looked at the onboard from Greg White and Greg's ride to the races. You know, a lot of these fans rode to the races as well. Roger Hayden, I'm Robbie Floyd. We get a little interjection here and there. Patricia Fernandez going back-to-back, hopping off the hooligan, getting on the King of the Bagger. I mean, she's just trying to one-up herself from the last time, get that top 5.
Got a good top 5, so hopefully she can carry that over to this race as well.
Kind of got that Ricky Carmichael kind of start deal where she got to hang off the side one-legged a little bit. I like that. You know, one thing I was impressed with was Kyle Wyman this morning. I looked at him and said, how do you think? He said, good. He looked fast. He was the fastest in practice this morning. But also need to point out, Tyler O'Hara crashed yesterday. At the end of his qualifying session, he was out in front and threw it away. Did they get that bike exactly right like he wanted it?
It looked like it this morning. He was pretty quick, so
Yeah.
I think they got it back going. You know, Indians got a lot of good people working on that bike, so I think I don't think that crash is going to bother any or set him back. And also, this you know, this race, the rest of the field is a lot closer this race than some of the other ones. You see, Michael Barnes qualified 3rd. He's less than half a second from pole position, so there's a lot more guys in the battle this weekend.
I agree with you, and yeah, when I talked to the camp yesterday about Tyler O'Hara and that bike, they said no, it was a It was a cosmetic damage, a lot of cosmetic stuff, and they were going to get it back going. But what had happened is the black pan, the black tray underneath there, when he was doing that inward lean to the left, actually dug into the asphalt. He didn't have tires on the ground for a brief moment, and that took him off the track.
And it was qualifying. It was going to be his last lap. You know, he was trying to go out and, you know, put in a really good lap and just found the limit.
Sometime you exceed those mechanical limits. Tyler O'Hara, Kyle Wyman, and Michael Burns going to be on that front row. I want to point out another guy on that second row, Travis Wyman. Maybe a guy to look for, having one of the best races. He said it was the best race of his life earlier in the Stock 1000. If you haven't watched that race on Moto America Live, you might want to go back and watch that. It was one of the best you'll see all year long. Taylor Knapp and Hayden Gillum. Still watch out for the 79. Started on that second row. Let's send it over to the guys next door.
Back at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for Mission King of the Baggers. Last year it was Tyler O'Hara who won the race here in the championship. But what about this year? He's with Roland Sands.
Thanks, Greg. We're here with Tyler O'Hara, Indian Challenger rider, put in a smoking lap of a 33.7 this morning. He's got a lot of work to do to try and win this championship this weekend. Maybe a little bit of luck.
Yeah, it ain't over yet. You know, we're out here at Laguna Seca, beautiful King of the Baggers, having a good time. And, you know, the rivalry's real. It's Harley versus Indian, Indian versus Harley. And we're never going to give up. I'm just out here having fun and doing my thing and just taking it session by session. And, yeah, 33.7, that's faster than I expected. But I'm so focused on the process right now that I'm just going to let the lap times and the race come to me and just see what happens.
Wow, a couple seconds faster than they went last year on WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Challenging for Mission King of the Baggers.
Honestly, can't imagine riding one of these bikes around here. Tyler O'Hara, some 3 seconds quicker than last year. Come up over that hill, turn 1, down to turn 2 to get these things slowed down must be a handful. But going up into that corkscrew, turn 7, 8, it's got to be a lot of fun riding these things down that hill, Greg, through Rainy Curve, turn 10, and back into turn 11 on their way to the start-finish line.
It's going to be an exciting and close race, and that race action's coming up after this. Don't go anywhere.
You never know what to expect here, especially Mission King of the Baggers. Always expect the unexpected. You see the 33 of Kyle Wyman trying to win a championship, not only for himself, but also for Harley Davidson, and getting support from Harley Davidson, as well as his brother Travis Wyman there on the left. And as we send it back over to the guys, we were talking about how one of the best races you'll ever see happened with Travis Wyman just a short while ago. That kind of gives you that momentum as well, Roger, when you've been fast on this track today. You know some of the things to do, although the bikes are not the same.
Yeah, definitely going to give you a little confidence for that ride he had. It was such a good ride from him. You know, like he said, it was the best ride of his career. So he looked really good. You know, that momentum and that confidence, he's got to be beaming right now from that ride, and want to kind of carry that momentum into the bagger race. He's been fast on the bagger all weekend, and even the previous race on the bagger, he was really fast. So he's definitely another guy to watch for.
Some fast men and women in this class. Again, there were 16 riders that signed up or entered for the Mission King of the Baggers. All riding with Dunlop tires, as always in Moto America. They have everything from the Extra Soft all the way to the Q4, a road tire if they wanted to run on the front. Extra Soft, Soft, Extra Soft, Soft, and the Q4. A couple of different options for those on the rear. So the big question is, what are they going to run? A lot of horsepower. We see these guys keeping times, what you said, almost similar to what the juniors were running. I mean, there's a lot of horsepower, a lot of weight, but a lot of mass to move with these Mission King of the Baggers.
And also with the Dunlop, these guys on the slicks now definitely made them where they can carry a lot more corner speed, and also just all these people getting more seat time. They're making a lot of changes every race. They're getting faster.
The weather conditions, absolutely perfect. It is a sunny day, a little bit of a breezy day. I'm seeing the American flag waving in the background along with our track flags. But temperature-wise, it's starting to heat up. The sun has been beating down on WeatherTech Raceway. Not as warm as it was yesterday, but it should be an absolutely perfect day for racing. They've had the fields. They've been practicing for 2 days. Now it comes to their one and only race. It's the Mission King of the Baggers. I'm going to send it over to the guys next door, Jason Pridmore, and we've got Greg White making the call with Roland Sands down trackside. Let's get ready for another race here at Laguna Seca.
Welcome back to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We're moments away from the start of this race as we have a look at the number 69. Now, Jason, here's how they qualified. Tyler O'Hara on pole with Kyle Wyman second, Michael Barnes, Wyman, Knapp, and Hayden Gillum.
Yeah, keep an eye on Hayden Gillum. He's second in points right now, Greg, and he looked like he's getting better on that bike. Garcia, that's right, guys. Ben Bostrom, middle of the second or third row there. Danny Eslick. Then we got Corey West, Patricia Fernandez, and Zach Nation. Eric Stahl, Superling, and Lackey are going to round out our field.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of talk about, you know, the battle between this guy here, Kyle Wyman, Tyler O'Hara, but Hayden Gillum slowly getting quick on that Vance & Hines Harley, and he is second in points. So we might have a small problem on the grid, but see.
This race scheduled for 8 laps. Championship online. Last King of the Baggers race. Now we're ready to get race action underway from pole position. Tyler O'Hara trying to make it 2 wins on the season. A little bit of a bobble. The 33 of Wyman will get out to our early lead.
Barney jumps right into second. Michael Barnes gets to second. Tyler O'Hara didn't get the best start, so he should be back there in third. Look who's coming down the inside there. I'm just trying to see. Could have been Taylor Knapp or Hayden Gillum.
So Michael Barnes on the 34 in second spot after a bad start from our pole sitter Tyler O'Hara. Make no mistake, O'Hara's got tons of speed.
It was Ben Bostrom sneaking down the inside, so he's moved up to 5th, just behind Travis Wyman on the other factory Harley-Davidson entry. So 2 Wyman brothers are on the exact same bike. O'Hara now goes up underneath Michael Barnes, and he's going to set sail and try to go chase down Kyle Wyman. Pretty impressive from Kyle, considering he hasn't ridden since Road America. He had a plate, obviously, like we showed you at the beginning of the show here. Got a plate in that elbow, Greg, but he said he hasn't been feeling too bad, and each day it's gotten a little bit better.
Wyman putting some distance between himself and the field. This is really shocking, like you mentioned.
O'Hara looked like he made a mistake in 6th, and look at this. Looks like Taylor Knapp going down the inside of Ben Bostrom at the top of the corkscrew. Only reason I recognize that leg, that right leg out of Knapp, it's got
yeah.
an interesting style, and but he looks like he jumped through on that Vance & Hines Harley as well.
There goes Tyler O'Hara up the inside of the 34 of Michael Barnes. So now O'Hara's going to set sail after Kyle Wyman. Back there in the number 10 is Travis Wyman in his second appearance as a factory Harley-Davidson rider.
Let's see, who is it? Is that Hayden? I can't tell.
Oh, it's Taylor Knapp.
It's Taylor Knapp who tipped off. Taylor Knapp was on a decent lap, too. He was running himself, getting himself into that top 5, and he loses the front down into turn 11. First lap through, minute 33.5 from a standing start from Kyle Wyman. These guys qualified, I believe, Greg, at like a high 32, if I'm not mistaken. That's extremely quick.
Yeah, 32.3. So to go from a 33.5,
right off
that's
the bat.
1 second slower than Kyle Wyman qualified. Man, this Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle team must have found something from qualifying to now.
And keep in mind, last year, the quickest lap that we saw was from O'Hara. I believe it was in a high 36s. So a lot of development has gone into these motorcycles, even in the little time that we've had. And you're going to look in the back of your picture there. You're going to see that's Taylor Knapp sliding along into the gravel in turn 11. He's going to be frustrated because he was actually riding really well.
That's so Taylor Knapp on the Vance & Hines Harley-Davidson. That's an electric glide. He'll try to rejoin the race if he can. Back to the battle for second spot as Tyler O'Hara had gotten around Michael Barnes. Thought we'd put a little bit more distance, but Barney's hanging on right now. So O'Hara, the winner of our inaugural mission, King of the Baggers, doing a great job of it.
And you would think, you know, I think it's 6th or what is it, 7th place or better that Wyman has to finish to win this championship. But you know, you never really want to go out that way. You want to try to go win and do the best you can. And he's obviously coming right off the couch after surgeries and so on. The last sort of 3 weeks, he's been just relaxing and been driving himself crazy because he hasn't really been able to do much. But look at the lead he's got, Gray. How about a 31.9? We're going quicker than we qualified. Yes.
That is insane. I mean, those times are incredibly fast for someone who's got a bum elbow at best.
And he's going to really like coming by and seeing that gap's getting bigger and bigger, Greg. He's almost got a 3-second lead now. It's Kyle Wyman. So He's trying to get himself out to a nice little gap. Toby made a couple little adjustments as far as his riding goes. Getting to the rights is a little bit different from him than to the left-handers because of his elbow. But right now, he's rolling along nicely.
Wyman putting a stamp on it, trying to win this championship in fine style. And
look at Barney.
Look at Michael Barnes getting back after it. He'll go around Tyler O'Hara. Tyler on that Mission Foods SNS Cycle Indian Challenger. Gets it back again from Barney on the DTF Performance. Open Racing Road Glide. So Road Glide's out front. Kyle Wyman on the Harley-Davidson Road Glide, and so is Michael Barnes. Get down to Hannah.
These two riders are no stranger to a battle like this. Just a couple weeks ago, they gridded up at Utah Motorsports campus for a different series and went head-to-head, so they're kind of picking up right where they left off.
And Michael Barnes up and out of the saddle, trying to get the most out of the acceleration, the most out of that Dunlop tire. No dramas for Michael Barnes, the ageless 34.
So I love it. Michael, you know, he's been around for so many years, ridden so many bikes. It's very well documented, but he was always, to me personally, one of the most underrated guys there were. He could literally go from a 250 Grand Prix bike, Greg, to a big 1,000 endurance bike. I've seen him ride those things. I've seen him ride everything. And it doesn't matter what you put him on. He's always going to be fast no matter what it is, and he's proven that again right now.
All the while, as we watch this battle for second spot, out front, Kyle Wyman is 4 seconds ahead, and he just did a 32 flat. So consistency from Wyman. This is our final race of the Mission King of the Baggers for Moto America for 2021, and that's the championship look.
Tyler just literally doesn't get through turn 6 very well. Like that's kind of his bogey corner. It looks like is he going to be able to? Nope, he's not going to be able to get back by Barney here, but oh, Barney gets in there a little bit deep. Tyler's going to give him a little bit of room. Barney does a smart thing, just got it under control. But I think Barney was kind of waiting for that attack from O'Hara at the top of the corkscrew, so maybe Michael let go of the lever a little bit too soon, ran a little bit wide, but he'll be back there in the fight again. But it just goes through turn 6 so well, and that just seems where Tyler might be struggling a little bit.
Left part of your screen is our running order. It's Wyman, O'Hara, Barnes, Travis Wyman, the other Screaming Eagle Factory Harley-Davidson rider in 4th, Ben Bostrom in 5th, Hayden Gillum, who was 2nd in points coming into this one in 6th, Frankie Garcia, Patricia Fernandez.
Yeah, you can see he just got in there a little bit deep and kept it on track nicely. Gave Tyler plenty of room to go around the outside of him. Now these guys are going to be locked back in, and again, 32.6 for Kyle Wyman out front. He's out 5.3 seconds. So this is a real statement from the guy who's trying to win this championship.
And Jason, put us in the mindset of Kyle Wyman right now, trying to win this championship. Coming in here, just the work that he put in just to get that elbow in shape to even come out and race this. We know he's not racing his superbike, but with 4 laps to go, what is he thinking? I mean, you've got to be thinking a ton of stuff.
You know, when Baggers started, there was obviously a rivalry building up between Indy and Harley-Davidson, and Indian came here last year and kind of showed the way, and Harley's done a ton of work. A lot of testing has gone into this program of Kyle Wyman and Travis Wyman, and they've done some testing at some different tracks and tried to get this bike better, and you can see it in the lap times. I mean, we're almost 5 seconds quicker this year than we were last year, and to go even quicker than he did in qualifying already, and he's got something on the line. So he obviously feels really comfortable on that bike, does Kyle, and you know, it's showing right now that the testing that they've put into these bikes, these are serious motorcycles, Greg. And if you go look at one really up close, they're really well put together.
Here's a look at the 33 of Kyle Wyman, currently residing in Tucson, Arizona. And while he was injured last week, if you saw in his social media, Travis, his brother in this race, got to do the majority of the, or really, he did all the testing. All the testing. And Kyle knew Travis had done the same lap times at Blackhawk Farms Raceway that Kyle had done a couple months before that. And so they have done a lot of development on this motorcycle. So Kyle Wyman right now having his way. His lead is 5.3 seconds over O'Hara. And Jason, just looking at the way this motorcycle rolls around this racetrack,
it's pretty planted. I talked to him this morning about it. I said, what do you think some of the mid-corner speeds are between your superbike and this bike? He says, Jay, this bike in the middle of the corner, you can roll through these things, and there's so much grip. that you can actually roll through the corners pretty fast on these things, and you can see it. And they, the bikes get a little bit backed in, and I mean, let's be honest, they're not your typical bagger that you're going to see on the streets, okay?
No, there's a lot of mods to these things. A lot of mods
to these bikes. A lot of high-performance parts are put onto these bikes, and it's great having Harley-Davidson and Indian such a big part of the series, and it's given them a platform to be able to showcase some of their products and some of the products that are going to be aftermarket products. As Kyle goes up underneath one of the tail enders here, looked like Logan Lackey that he passes. He's going to have 2 to go. This lap by, he had 5.3 seconds the last time through.
There's a look at the 87, Patricia Fernandez out of Arkansas on the Saddlemen Harley-Davidson, Hannah.
They're pulling back-to-back races right now. They just got off the Super Hooligans bikes. Frankie Garcia, Corey West, and Patricia. So she just finished 5th in the Super Hooligans race, and I'm really impressed with her riding right now. She hasn't had a lot of time on this bike. She did a short test at Thermal, said she only got about 12 laps in. Did a race a couple of weeks ago at Utah that we mentioned earlier, and now she's here. So without a ton of laps on this motorcycle, she's really holding her own out there.
Certainly is. She's in 8th place currently. Comes across the line. Jason, within less than a second of her fastest lap of the race.
Yep, no, she's doing good. Real steady as Patricia. We saw her in the series a bunch of years ago on 600s, and just being real steady out there right now.
Kyle Wyman leading this race, trying to wrap up this championship. And a lot of us were talking about Mission King of the Baggers coming into this thing and just talking, can Kyle get that 7th place finish or better if this situation happens and that situation happens? Jason, before the start of this race, would you have predicted Kyle Wyman leading this race by this margin and ripping off a 131.9?
No, definitely wouldn't have thought it would be this big of a gap. I figured that Tyler O'Hara would go right with him, and you can see these two guys are still locked in battle for 2nd place. Another tail ender gets out of the way. Kyle's going to come by this time and see that white flag, and that's going to just basically now he's just got to bring this thing home.
1 lap remains for the 33. Kyle Wyman. Can he bring this motorcycle home and win Mission King of the Baggers National Championship here in Moto America? When he hit the deck at the Ridge Motorsports Park and knew from the moment he hit the ground that his elbow was broken.
It was Road America. It was actually
Road America. Yeah, he didn't make the Ridge. Sorry,
Yep.
at Road America in the chicane. He knew in that instant, Jason, that it was broken. And a lot of the thoughts went through his head about his Superbike program, about Mission King of the Baggers. He'd just come off his first win. The possibility of coming here just a few short weeks later with a broken elbow. And look at the job that Kyle Wyman is doing right now.
Yep, and you can see the race pace here on the right. Very consistent, 31 as you can see, and then he did a 32 flat right after that. And then he really was the only one in the 32s that got down into those lap times. As you look back to 2nd and 3rd, their fastest is 33.0, 33.2. So, yeah, Kyle ended up the evening after he broke his elbow, started looking at this race as being the most important one. Obviously, there's probably a championship bonus involved with this, and he went to a few different surgeons and looked at some different options. Flew out here to California, got his elbow fixed, and then it's just been recouping.
Kyle Wyman, a couple of corners to go to wrap up this race win, his 2nd of the year, and back-to-back wins. But more importantly, the Mission King of the Baggers Championship onto the front straightaway. The checkered flag awaits. And Kyle Wyman will win the race here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca and be your national champion. What a way to do it.
It's a big deal for these guys. I mean, like you say, Greg, they've been putting a ton of work into this, and I don't think Kyle, Kyle basically was like, I just got to do is finish 6th, but he felt pretty comfortable out there. You're going to see O'Hara come up, give him a congrats, as I'm sure will Barney here in a minute.
What a show, what a performance. And so unexpected to win the race. The championship looked like it was going to be his, and he wrapped it up. Your 2021 Mission King of the Baggers national champion, Kyle Wyman. What a treat for the KW Army. When a lot of the fans jump onto his program, and then he announced he was going to be factory Harley-Davidson racer. We're going to talk to Kyle on the other side of this break and find out how it went for the national champion. Stay with us.
Wow, what a run for Kyle Wyman. Robbie Floyd and Roger Hayden here with you. Our little interlude in between, and that was a strong run. I mean, you want to talk about managing a race when he was able to turn that 31, which nobody even turned to 32. He turned to 31.9. You knew, okay, I think this race is his.
No, he got to start and never looked back, and they are so much faster than they were last year, you know, the very first race. So you can see how much work and how all these guys are starting to figure out these baggers, and you know what, we had a good race for second and third as well. So for Kyle to come in here with having that injury with the elbow, it has to be hard to ride that, you know, just the weight, moving it around. So hats off to Kyle.
Travis Wyman, his brother, finished fourth. His best lap was his last lap, 1:33.65. So Travis Wyman having a good finish, because anytime you finish just in front of Double B, Ben Bostrom, you've done well. Hayden Gillum, who was in the championship hunt, is going to finish sixth in this race. Frankie Garcia, seventh. Patricia Fernandez, the young lady, in eighth. Zach Nation and Eric Stahl rounding out the top 10 with Danny Eslick one lap down. So as the guys were talking about it, Kyle Wyman knew when he was at Road America, he knew that he had broken that elbow. And you've seen the pictures of what that x-ray looked like. It hurts, no doubt, but adrenaline's a powerful drug. I don't know how much anti-inflammatories he's on, but he also looked different yesterday than he did today. When he came out in warm-up, he looked like the Kyle Wyman you're used to seeing.
And he's just really taken care of himself ever since, you know, the whole thing happened. This has kind of been his goal and what he's been aiming for. So, you know, that's what happens when these guys are in good shape like Kyle is. You heal a lot quicker, and that's why you see these guys always taking care of their bodies and always focusing on all that stuff, because if you do have an injury or something comes up, you heal a lot quicker.
Good run by Tyler O'Hara. He's going to finish second, not only in the race, I believe in the championship as well. But with Tyler, he just had that battle going on with Michael Barnes, and we were like, go on, Barney, go get you some. And he had one of those Rossi moments going down the corkscrew, but Barney gave him everything he needed, and that really worked in Kyle Wyman's advantage.
Yeah, definitely, Barney. That was great to see Barney, because we've seen him have a lot of issues.
Mechanical stuff, right?
You know, with a couple of the races. So for him to finally come out here and show what he can do, like I was talking about before the race, I said there was going to be a couple more guys in the mix today, and Barney was one of them.
What a run there to the finish for the 33. Kyle Wyman, the Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle, able to beat the Indian Tyler O'Hara, and Michael Barnes on his Harley-Davidson again. Hugs all around the Harley-Davidson camp. They did what they came here to do, and that's not necessarily win the race, but to win the championship. And it feels awful good when you can do both. And you're Kyle Wyman. Again, Kyle Wyman not going to be out there in the Honda Superbike class. This is the one he was trying to focus on. And again, you see how he's moving those arms around in that elbow, and the surgically repaired elbow. Looks more like the Bionic Man nowadays. But he came here with one mission. He accomplished that goal, and now he can head home with that Mission King of the Baggers championship in his back pocket.
Now he can start focusing on trying to get back on the Superbike in Brainerd. He's got another 2 weeks off, so hopefully he can be back for there.
Barney, the old man, gave him everything he could handle, didn't he? I say old man because I'm an old man myself, but I'm with you. I was just so happy to see Michael Barnes on a bike that would keep him going for the entire duration of the lap, because this is what we expected out of Barney. Good to have you back, Barney, and finishing on that podium. A very talented rider, been doing it, I don't know, probably since the 80s. He's been a professional racer. I know definitely the 90s, 2000s, the 10s, and now into the 20s. You talked about the speed difference, about 4 seconds difference between last year and this year. A lot of that has to do with the sticky rubber tires this year, able to run the slicks. Last year, not able to do so. But no matter what they were on, what model Dunlop, Kyle Wyman is your winner in Mission King of the Baggers. Let's send it back next door.
Today's Mission King of the Baggers has been sponsored by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car or motorcycle insurance. By Dunlop, the official tire of the Moto America Championship Series. And Medallia, the pioneer and market leader in customer and employee experience.
Right to our final results for the race. Kyle Wyman, 4.3 seconds and a new Mission King of the Baggers track record here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. O'Hara and Michael Barnes will be on the podium. Travis Wyman and Ben Bostrom. Now let's take a look at those championship standings, because, Jason, we need confirmation that Kyle Wyman wrapped this thing up, and he did so by 25 points over Tyler O'Hara. Let's get right down to Hannah, who has our race winner and new national champion.
Greg, this marks 2 victories in a row for Kyle Wyman, but not without quite an obstacle in between. Kyle, to the line in fine style. Tell us about how you were feeling out there and what this championship means to you.
Man, I was just head down from the beginning and just wanted to try to just see what I had. I had to at least give one lap of absolutely everything and just see where that put me. And I saw a +1 on the first lap. I was like, all right, head down again. So it was an amazing race. These Harley-Davidson guys have given me such an amazing motorcycle. It's just a dream come true. I mean, growing up in a Harley-Davidson dealership, road racing, all sorts of different brands, never thinking I'd ever race a Harley again. Here we are, champions of the King of the Baggers Championship. And I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. Harley-Davidson, Screaming Eagle, Owens, all you guys, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, our Mission Foods King of the Baggers champion, Kyle Wyman.
Unbelievable. Congratulations, Kyle Wyman. That'll do it for us for Mission King of the Baggers for 2021. Kyle Wyman, your national champion. For Hannah and Jason, I'm Greg. Bye.